Okay, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So, hello everyone. Günaydın olsun herkese. Welcome in a fifth webinar organized by DDRS Committee. And our today's event dedicated to the 18th IFLA ILDS 20 and 24 conference. Today we discuss theoretical and practical outcomes and the vision. I'm 𝐿𝐮 and I'm delighted to be your moderator for this session. I representing both DDRS team and at the same time host institution Ege University located in Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan, where the latest ILDS conference took place between December 24. We are thrilled to have our esteemed colleagues and speakers with us today who will share their insights and experience about this conference, and later on I will introduce them. Now just about conference briefly, under the subject Global to Local Diversity and Inclusiveness in Resource Sharing, the Document Delivery and Resource Sharing Committee invited Interlending and document supply community to explore how resource sharing in digital technology and AI era may foster the diversity and inclusiveness, and how global access can align with the local needs. The special thanks to �𝐶 𝐒𝐩𝐞𝐫𝐬, 𝐷𝐿𝐻, Andrew Appleyard, Tom Bruno, and Donald Taylor. They were international organizing team for this conference, and their effort and dedication to organize this conference was very successful. I also grateful to ILDS 24 local organizing team, AD library staff, and colleagues from the Library Information Center of the Azerbaijan State University of Economics. We would like to appreciate our sponsors for their generous contribution to the conference, which played a vital role in the achievement of the conference. I would like to say their names: IEEE, Microinfo, Clarivate, EBSCO, OCLC, and Index Data. Before we start, on behalf of DDRS team, I would like to extend our warm welcome to all attendees joining from around the world. Whether you attended the conference or join us today, we hope this session will be informative and engaging for you. And I have some last items to share with you. The webinar will be recorded and the recording will be available on DDRS YouTube channel. And also you can see wrap-up video from this conference in the same channel. We encourage audience to address their questions through Q&A box for the questions and chat box for the general comments. And our QA session will take place after all panelists have spoken. Okay, now let's get started, and it's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speakers who actively contributed to the 18th IFLA ILDS 2024 conference, and they will share their expertise and perspectives with us. I would like to start with Filiz Ekingen Flores Mamondi, International Student Advisor in Boğaziçi University, based in Turkey. Dr. 𝐼FLA Angela Okafor, Archivist and Records Manager, University of Ibadan from Nigeria. Madina Karimova, Reference and Instruction Specialist, American University of Central Asia from Kyrgyzstan. And our speaker from Iran, Dr. Rasul Zavaragi, Associate Professor in Information Science from University of Tabriz. Thank you all for being us today. Let's dive into our discussion about your experiences with ILDS conference. And now I'm going to address the question. The first question is, the ILDS conference has been held for almost 4 decades. And did you had any chance to participate in any previous conferences, or was this your first time attending? Please share your experience. Filiz, let's start with you, if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you, 𝐿𝐻, for introducing me. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me to be a speaker for this valuable webinar. I've been working at IFLA Document Delivery and Resource Sharing Committee since 2019. This is my second term on this great committee. As you know, this conference held every 2 years provides a valuable opportunity to come together, share our experience, and discuss the challenges we face in cooperation and resource sharing. I had the chance to attend ILDS conference 3 times until today. I participate for the first time 14 IFLA ILDS conference held in Istanbul in 2015. That year, I was a member of the organizing committee of the conference, and I presented a paper about Turkish ILS systems. The conference theme was resource sharing at the crossroads. This ILDS meeting was a very important meeting actually for me, because my presentation was published in the Journal of Interlending Document Supply. My article name was Library Cooperation in Turkey, the results of the survey of ILL libraries in higher education. Then I attended the 16th ILDS meeting in Prague in 2019. The theme was meeting was beyond the paywall, resource sharing in distributive ecosystem. This meeting organized very well also. We made very good friendship with wonderful colleagues from all over the world. In 2021, although I was also on the organizing committee, I couldn't attend the 7th ILDS conference in Qatar, because at the last minute I learned that I got COVID disease, unfortunately. Finally, I attended the 18th IFLA ILDS conference in Baku last December. This conference theme was global to local diversity and inclusiveness in resource sharing. I want to say that thanks to my colleagues from Azerbaijan, we had a great conference again. About your question, that's all I can say about this question. Thank you. 𝐎𝐻𝐿DS.
Please, thank you very much. Really great experience with ILDS and with your further achievements on this direction. I know you are in a different sphere, but still part of DDRS Standing Committee, still part of the librarians, and wish you success on this direction. I would like to continue with Dr. Okafor. Can you please share your experience regarding your did you participate in your previous conferences, or it is first time you participated? Thank you. Dr. Okafor, can you please just unmute your microphone? We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, I said this is the first time I attended this conference, and I must say that I have a good experience. Let me start by saying congratulations for an excellent conference and amazing program. Great speakers, all the presenters were engaging and insightful. I learned a lot, and now I now have a good sense of some of the latest developments on resource sharing. 𝐻𝐿DS, you and your team did a fantastic job. I must say that. I learned about resource sharing to the extent of the involvement of resource sharing. I noticed that most developing countries like Nigeria are actually lagging behind. If I didn't attend that conference, I would have known how backward we are in resource sharing. The conference created a venue for good networking opportunities. Those visits actually created a venue for intimacy interactions. I must confess I made valuable connections too. I give kudos to the organizers. Sessions were well-paced, though we experienced some lapses, but there's always room for improvement. I trust we do better next time. I will highly recommend this conference to my colleagues and students in the library school. Thank you very much.
Dr. Okafor, thank you for your valuable insights. And me and actually all team, whenever the DDRS local committee, we're happy that you leave us with really nice impressions, and you could get something for your future perspectives, for your future activities. Thank you for sharing your insights about that issue. And I would like to leave floor for Medina, and let's hear her experience about ILDS conference. Medina, floor is yours.
Thank you. First of all, I have to say that I'm glad to see you, colleagues, dear friends. Thank you, 𝐿𝐮𝐫, for having me here. For me, that was my first participation in the IFLA conference, but I have to say that I have a short story. In 2023, I visited Koç University in Istanbul. It was 4th International Library Staff Week, where I met a lot of colleagues and friends from all around the world. Well, and learn about IFLA, more about IFLA conference. And I can say that my journey started from Istanbul Koç University, thanks to Baku. And what I want to add that I truly believe to the power of cooperation of librarians. Thank you.
Medina, thank you for your sharing your experience too. And again, we're also happy that you have good, memorable experience here regarding ILDS conference. And I said this idea even during a conference that it's nice to see all newcomers and the veterans of the ILDS conference all together, and somehow the veterans showing the perspective and valuableness of this conference, and wish you further successful conferences in this direction. But I would like to go to second question, because we still haven't our fourth speaker, Dr. Rasul Zavaragi. He's not here, but hopefully he will come soon. But for now, I just want to move to the second question, and let me share with you. So each ILDS conference is valuable with its trending topics. What key takeaways did you gain from the 18th IFLA ILDS conference? This time, I would like to start with Dr. Okafor. Dr. Okafor,
Yeah.
what do you think? Which key takeaways did you gain from this conference, from the latest ILDS conference?
Okay. Actually, I have plenty takeaways, but the conference broadened my horizon on the benefits of resource sharing in libraries, like increased access. User can access wider variety of materials beyond their local library collections. Then it is cost effective for libraries because it reduces the need for each library to purchase everything individually. It also improves user services. Libraries can provide better services to users by accessing a wider range of information through resource sharing. Then the presentation by, 𝐿𝐮𝐫 from Botswana concerning Botswana Library Consortium, 52 members comprising of different types of libraries, was a good one and an eye-opener, because down here in Nigeria, even the consortium for university libraries, they're not really functioning very well. But I found a country that was able to come up with a consortium that contains different types of library, not university, like academic, special, whatever, everything, which means they will have wider range of information to share among them. And of course, I've already discussed this with some of my lecturers down here. Then the resource sharing, collaborative and voluntary documents delivery actually caught my interest 100%. That was the first time I heard of it. You know, down here in Africa, when I came back, I started asking people around, do you know of RSTVD? They said no, they don't know about it. And in fact, I discussed that with my university librarian, and I know they're going to work towards being a member. That was the good one. And then the Talaria collaborative software is another one that's caught my interest, whereby libraries can use them and manage it independently. Then aside from those software, those apps and softwares, the presentation by 𝐎𝐮𝐫 from China on artificial intelligence, how it can help in resource sharing, was another good one to me. In fact, as I'm speaking with you, I'm already on a study on the integration of AI in records and archives management, prospects and challenges. That very presentation gave me that clue. There are a lot of papers that actually caught my interest. The one by 𝐿𝐻𝐿, and I must comment a presentation by Peter Bear on that RSCVD, because he gave us full detail of what we need to know and how to go about it. If not for some infrastructural issues, I know that University of Ibadan library would have jumped, but they're actually looking into it. Even my HOD was asking me, is it possible that the department registered, which I've already found out? So I would say there are a lot of takeaways, insights. I know from that conference now, I've gotten idea of 3 papers, which I've started writing one. I've started one. I'm even almost done with that integration of artificial intelligence in archives and records management, prospects and challenges. So I would say the conference, actually, it was fully packed. It was fully packed. So I would say well done. It was good. Thank you. I'm done.
Great. Really valuable takeaways, and hopefully you can implement all of them in your country. As you mentioned, all countries has their specific, maybe individual constraints, and hopefully you can one of the leading role that solving these constraints and go further. Let's continue with Medina. Medina, what about you?
Thank you. Well, during the 2 days in Baku, we had many insightful discussions. And one of the inspiring example was Received program. And this is a network of librarians, volunteer network of librarians. And it was absolutely free of charge. So it was very interesting to listen our colleagues from India, from Lebanon and Turkey, when in their presentations, they share their experience through providing the statistics and demonstrating the all benefits of these programs, of these initiatives. And we saw that lending and borrowing among countries, it was very insightful. And I have to say that we are proud to be the part of this initiative now. We joined to Received, and we are at the beginning of our journey, but we believe that it will be beneficial for all sides. And what I want to add to this, that we will promote Received among our country libraries. We will encourage them to join this network, especially we will speak with our medical institutions. And I think it was one of the inspiring examples from my side. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Medina. I totally understand. As I remember, your topic was related to open access.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and it's feeling in your speech now that
yes, it is close to me because it's for
exchanging resources nothing free, but still for the libraries, somehow it's free of charge, because we support, as you know, and colleagues know, that societies, communities with academic and even with cultural resources. And it is important to have collaboration, as you mentioned, and increase the number of open access. And by the way, as I know, they received renewed data area, and the library is growing in this community. We also, as a university, registered this platform, let's say, to be part of a huge community. Thank you, Medina and Filiz. What about your takeaways?
Thank you, Elçin. At the 18th IFLA ILDS conference in Baku, actually, I gained many things. If I'm not wrong, we were nearly 80 librarians from around the world. We came together. We talk about how resource sharing, especially in the digital age, can help promote diversity and inclusion locally and globally. The Baku conference was also a very special meeting for me, because I contributed to this meeting with a poster that I prepared and joined a panel presentation. This year in conference, again, we had great chance to discuss developments and challenges in resource sharing with colleagues. As I told before, ILDS conference Baku was very special for me, because Turkey was the first country to recognize the Republic of Azerbaijan, which declared its independence in 1991. Am I right? I guess it's true. This. I was very happy to be with my colleagues who speak the same language and share similar cultures. Actually, I enjoyed so much with our discussion outside of the meetings. We saw many familiar cultures. We share this. I exchange ideas with colleagues worldwide, and we discuss the latest development in our field. This conference contributes to us academic success, and was a great opportunity actually to meet colleagues from all over the world. And I met many international friends through this conference. We continued to friendship after the conference. Actually, they are listening to me. I want to give thanks. And we continue to support each other professionally when necessary. Also, the conference gave us the opportunity to explore the Baku, a clean, modern, and beautiful city. And we got enjoy with your amazing food. Thanks to the incredible hospitality and of our Azerbaijan colleagues, we had unforgettable, actually enjoyable time at the conference. For now, that's all I can say.
Filiz, appreciate. We are happy that you got professional, even cultural, yeah. Some specific impressions from Azerbaijan. About professional, that surely artificial intelligence technology was one of the objects of this conference. And you have a poster, you have also a presentation in a received session. Thank you for that, for these contributions. And happy that you liked our food, our cuisine.
Yes, it was great.
Cuisine. Thank you so much. And our fourth guest, Dr. Zavaraki, is here. Dr. Zavaraki, you will answer two questions following each other. So just want to address both questions to you, and we would like to listen to your insights also. So the first question was, it was your first time participating in ILDS conference, or previously you have experience? And the second question is, which key takeaways you did take from this, from the latest ILDS conference? We cannot hear you. Can you please No.
Elçin, are you sure that he heard you?
I just message Dr. Zavaragi that we cannot hear you. Rasul Bey, something wrong with sounding maybe in a laptop, or I don't know how you access. I see that Dr. Zavaragi will answer all 4 questions at once. So maybe Doctor, I will continue with another questions, so you will have time to solve it. Third question is, which topic and call did you address to the DDRS and IFLA community? I would like to start with Medina.
Thank you. Well, at the conference, I had a chance to share our current achievements in promoting open access in Kyrgyzstan. I demonstrated our open access repositories, our open archival collections, and gave a short, brief history of cooperation and partnership between our libraries, public libraries and university libraries. Also, I shared the information about our regular training programs which has aimed to help to our regional professionals, librarian professionals, to gaining their skills in management, in resource sharing management, and resource electronic resources management. Well, and also I talk about how we successfully secured countrywide subscription to the databases such as EBSCO, Web of Science, and Scopus. And to follow up the conference, our university discussed the potential partnership with IEEE. After several webinars, we get the trial access to the IEEE, and we will work on make it countrywide.
Great. I have 2 questions.
Yes.
The first question is, what is the perception of open access in Kyrgyzstan, let's say in your city or overall? And is it really demanded IEEE in Kyrgyzstan? As you know, this is very specific database with technical direction. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. As I demonstrated in my presentation, Kyrgyzstan working in promoting open access since 2002, and we did a huge work. We collaborated with regional universities. We provided the open access sources. We're providing the trainings about the open electronic resources also. And if regarding the IEEE, we already had a webinar with them, with their representative, and they explained their benefits. We find out that our local researchers already published in IEEE, and also we found out that there are a lot of open access resources already provided to us. And we are able, our country members are able to get the trial access to these open access resources.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing this information. Feliz, let's continue with you.
You asked which, you asked, okay.
Topic and call did you address to DDRS and IFLA community?
Yes, as I mentioned before, I contributed to the Baku conference with a poster and one panel presentation. The poster name was Impact of Receipt Project in Turkey, ILS Systems. As you know, IFLA Document Delivery and Resource Sharing Committee members created the Receipt Initiative during the pandemic to support libraries that could not access the collections due to lockdowns. The project started during the pandemic and supported by the university libraries in Turkey by volunteer. It continues to offer free article requests through the volunteer work of our colleagues, making it easier to share resources. The goal of my poster was to introduce these resource sharing systems in our country and evaluate how widely the receipt project has been heard of and used in Turkey since the pandemic based on the survey. My aim was also to raise awareness about the receipt project and ensure that participants gained information about the project, even if they had not used it before. As a result, through this survey, I have ensured that the institutions that were previously unaware of or had not used the project are now informed about this free resource sharing program. And I have contributed to raising awareness about availability. I also joined a panel with a presentation that I prepared. In this panel, I provide a brief overview of resource sharing Turkey at the panel. Then I present some of the data that I have gathered from my experience with the receipt project. Actually, I shared also the result of the survey that I made. The survey results show that the KITS system is used for ILL. KITS is the system that we use for ILL in Turkey widely. The most widely used research sharing in Turkey, and then follow KITS, 𝐒𝐫𝐬, OCS, and IFLA voucher, and British Library Systems. These are the other systems that we have been using for ILL. Actually, many webinars, meetings, and information announcements have been made our country regarding this project until today. But I explained in my presentation that this free and voluntary resource sharing system has enabled many colleagues who have not heard or never used in the Turkey. I believe that there still need to increase awareness and encourage more colleagues to use and engage with this. So I guess we have to keep on to announce, make announcement about this project. That's all for now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Filiz. Rasul Bey, are you ready? Ses gelir. Baba. Hoş gelmişsin. Welcome, Rasul. Again, quickly, I will repeat the questions. So the first question is it your first time participating in ILDS conference? The second question, what key takeaways did you gain from this conference? And just third question was, what would you like to call or address to DDRS or IFLA community? All three questions together, my dear colleague and friend.
Excuse me, because of any inconveniences in my microphone system and in my laptop system for connecting via Zoom. As you know, this was my first time attending IFLA ILDS DDRS conference, and it was an incredibly enriching experience over the years. And thanks for Elchin and his colleagues for their hospitality and attentiveness for me and other colleagues in the conference. Over the years, I have followed the work of IFLA and DDRS, but participating in person provided a deeper insight into the global disclosure and interlending and document supply. The 18th ILDS conference in Baku stood out because of its strong emphasis on diversity. Diversity was very important for me. Diversity in different nations, from different races, different countries, and inclusivity and resource sharing. A variety of sessions, presentations, and discussions allow for the exchange of innovative ideas and experiences across different library systems. What struck me most was the way the conference facilitated global collaboration. Global collaboration via the conference was very important for me. Whether through AI applications in resource sharing, open access initiatives, or innovative inter-library loan models, the event underscored the need for sustainable strategies to ensure equitable access to knowledge worldwide. And I want to acknowledge from Talaria project that it was very great project to the closeness between librarians from worldwide and to collaborate with all together for reaching the goal of interlibrary loan and resource sharing. And about the second question, about key takeaways from this conference. In my point of view, the key takeaways from this conference were as below. The role of AI and technology, different and variant lectures and posters was about using AI in resource sharing and interlibrary loan, and it was very important for me. Some sessions are completely about artificial intelligence and resource sharing, highlighted increasing reliance on machine learning or for improving efficiency in interlending and document supply. Discussions about AI-based metadata organization and automation were particularly insightful for me. The second takeaway was open access and inclusive knowledge sharing. The presentation on advancing open access initiatives in Kyrgyzstan showcased how developing countries are striving to create freely accessible research ecosystems. And it was a very great project. In my point of view, the movements that is done in Kyrgyzstan. This aligns with broader open science and knowledge equity movements that is one of the great goals of the knowledge movement and open access movement. Diversity and inclusiveness was a second important point in the conference. The major theme of this conference was ensuring that resource sharing services are accessible to all communities, including marginalized groups. The Lithuanian audio sensory library's presentation on removing accessibility barriers was especially impactful in this regard. And about other point, the global collaboration. The global collaboration as RSCVD project, Talaria software, was very impactful for me. Was a great example of how international collaboration can support libraries in crisis situations. This was particularly relevant in light of global challenges like COVID-19 and geopolitical disruptions, such as sanctions. Sanctions is a new modern phenomenon that our country has challenged with it. And this software and this project can ensure the equality and for the issuing aliens or access to worldwide resource via the librarians' efforts and collaboration. I see that these answers are enough for me, and I can hear other speech and my colleagues' lectures. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zavaragi, for your experience, sharing your experience and insights. And Dr. Okafor, what about your thoughts about the third question, about the call to the DRS and IFLA community?
Please, can you come again?
The question is, what's your call to DDRS and IFLA community? Which topic during ILDS? I mean, it like impress you.
Okay.
You want to make some call, some future vision, and strategically what we need to think for the further activities, for the further conferences or events, let's say.
Okay. The paper I presented was on digital accessibility and the inclusion of people with disabilities in the provision of information resources in academic libraries in Southwest Nigeria. What prompted this topic was my observation that it is actually the duty of library to provide information to various categories of users. But from my experience, when I was in school, I found out that we have some disabled people in my faculty. When you interact with them, they will tell you how they feel about not having access to information resources in the library. Even coming to school, there is nothing like wrong for them. At times, we have to lift them, help them with their wheelchair to come up to the class. So when the thing continued, the department actually took care of those. But when it comes to dissemination of information resources in the library, they are somehow left out. But at the end of the day, we all have the same exam to take. They might depend on their friends most times. And in my quest to find out what could be done and what the university is doing about it, I found out that to some extent, those that are blind or visually impaired, they have some level of attention given to them. But those that are deaf and dumb, locomotive impairments, they don't give them attention, but they will still sit for the same examination in the school. It prompted me to start looking into how to get this problem solved. What could be done? And that is the gist of this topic. And I found out that since we now have a lot of and every day that are involving information and the communication technology, there are ways that these people could be helped by using assistive technology for them to be able to access information available in the library. When I started probing further, and I found out that those that are giving concern when it comes to collection development in the library were those that are blind and with visual impairment. Others are being left out. Even those categories don't even have enough information resources in the libraries. Then I went further to find out the extent to which some universities have implemented this. Some universities don't even have anything at all when it comes to assistive technology for these categories of users in the library. So they're left alone. Some do. Then I needed to find out what is the challenges What is the prospect? Is there any headway? Those that even have those assistive technologies in the libraries, some of them are underutilized because the librarians there don't even know how to operate them. I asked further. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? What is happening?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So I needed to probe further to find out what is happening. And I found out that in the library schools, there's no training on how to use assistive technologies to assist those with disabilities. So should the university even acquire those technologies? There's no expertise on ground to manage them. That's another big problem on ground. I used 4 universities for this study. Out of the 4 universities, 1 have actually equipped a section of the library for those with some level of disabilities. But 80% of what they have there were just for those with visual impairment and blind users. Talk about deaf, dumb, those on wheelchair, nothing for them. During my research design, I carved out a portion where I had to ask them, how do they cope? How do they manage? And I found out that some of them rely on their classmates to tell them what is going on. So even some of the blind users, all those classmates will now read out for them to use their brain to now type so they can read later and pass the exams. Then those that are on wheelchair or have locomotive impairment, those that they can't even go to the library, there was no provision for them in most of the libraries in the universities in Nigeria. Then
I'm sorry, we have time constraints and I have to go to our last questions, or maybe we have also questions from our participants. And just with one sentence, I will ask you about the next, like suggestion for the next topic, for the next conference topic. Let me see them. Like for the future interlending and document supply conferences, what would you recommend? Rasul Bey, I would like to hear from you. What would you like to recommend for future conferences, ILDS conferences?
Yes, as you know, artificial intelligence is very powerful phenomenon in recent years, and we can focus more on artificial intelligence capacities and capabilities in resource sharing and interlibrary loan, and about capturing innovative solutions for our past goals and ideal goals from ancient board to modern board. I think that exploring use of AI-driven metadata processing, automated document delivery, and predictive resource sharing models can be very important issue. Sustainability and eco-friendly resource sharing is another important issue that I think that in this conference can be tracked. Libraries are increasingly focusing on creative initiatives, educated discussion on eco-sustainable interlending practices such as digital first approach and carbon footprint reduction would be back. Another point is resilient knowledge sharing networks for crisis situations, and given the impact of COVID-19, wars and natural disasters. Future conference should explore how libraries can strengthen their resource sharing capabilities in time of global crisis. Another point is enhancing inclusivity in resource sharing. This should be a great focus on library serving underrepresented communities, including persons with disabilities, rural libraries, and institutions in low resource settings. The future of open access and interlibrary collaboration is the final point that I can.
Rasul Bey, you will not leave any topics for other participants.
Final. This is final. Funding models and technological innovations can support open access knowledge sharing networks is my final recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Filiz?
Yes. Jen,
just one sentence. What would you like to recommend for future conference? Like
for future interlending, I mean, our field librarianship changes with technology and should always meet the needs of users based on today's conditions. I mean, for years we have been discussing the challenges and the developments in our professions, and it's a big chance to us come together and talk about important topics and problems that we face. I believe that the copyright problem is also one of the important subjects that we have been discussing for many years. And the copyright of digital resources has become a very important issue, actually, with the rapid spread of digitalization. Libraries and librarians play a very important role in solving this problem. We may need to think about this issue maybe more. We have seen the we saw in recent pandemic that sometimes physical publications are limited, and maybe we should talk about updating the copyright rules for the sharing of digital publications. The other important subject is artificial intelligence is changing many industries, actually, and I believe that directly impacting the role of librarians and libraries, actually. I mean, libraries have always been providing and meaning information, and artificial IA growing, and these roles will start to change too. Our roles also will start to change. Important
Filiz,
for...
I'm sorry, I need to go to two more because we're time up also. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Medina and Dr. Okafor, please, just in one sentence, what do you think and what would you like to recommend for the future conferences? Just one sentence and maybe topic, I don't know. Okay. Shortly, please, your ideas. Medina, please.
Sure. From the conference, keynote speaker, �絵𝐮𝐫 Davidova from Lithuania, she spoke about the Marrakesh treatment and the implication. I think this is crucial to discuss the importance of these implications. So I would like to just share this one. Yeah.
Thank you, Medina. Dr. Okafor, shortly, what would you like to recommend for the future conferences?
You muted, I guess. Doctor?
You muted. Okay, we have 3 minutes, and I just need to share some final remarks. So before closing, we have called for bids to host the 19th IFLA Interlending and Document Supply Conference 2026. It is open until March 21st, and we will be happy to see new candidates. And okay, you can hear me. So I can, on behalf of DDRS committee, would like to thank all speakers for their insights, and wishing all the best successful future professional activities to our speakers. And we encourage everyone to stay connected and continue these important conversations. We thank also our attendees for their time as they contribute to time and listening us. And hopefully it was interesting and engaging seminar for them. So if you would like to learn more about DDRS team, DDRS activities, you can see IFLA official website. We have separate page there, and DDRS social media accounts. And again, the recordings, the information will be available in our DDRS social media accounts. Once again, thank you all, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the future events. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.